The dwarves are a defensive race with powerful buildings and advanced units. Almost all of their units have some kind of ability, making them very technical to play. Expansion will be slow, so typically the dwarves prefer to fortify a few sectors over going wide. In the mid to late game, dwarven mobility options can flip their defensive nature upside down, turning dwarves into perhaps the best attacking race in Spellforce 3. Dwarven buildings are almost exclusively built using stone, with just a few requiring charcoal. This creates an excessive focus on stone gathering, setting dwarves apart significantly when compared to other races. Resource buildings will each have 3 worker slots, while outposts provide 6 workers on the first and another 5 on the second upgrade levels. The advanced dwarven resource is Moonsilver. It's gathered by Moonsilver miners, but must be refined at the Moonsilver smeltery. The smeltery can be in any sector regardless of where the Moonsilver is located. Consider placing it in one of your safer sectors where the workers aren't assigned to advanced resources, as this building has 6 worker slots. Dwarves have no way to get infinite advanced resources. While dwarves have a very powerful late game, if they run out of finite resources, they lose all of their advanced options. Tunnels are the dwarven mobility option that allows them to go on the offense even if their army is smaller, or to just connect their bases without the need for godstones or teleportation. Build a tunnel entrance somewhere in your base and the exit where you would like to emerge. You will need line of sight to construct the exit, and that line of sight will have to come from ground units or buildings, so flyers do not count. These can save you in many ways and can create significant chaos for your opponent. Try to bait a full army teleport or use a second tunnel to attack an area not reachable in time by your opponent. If that happens to be the capital, tunnels can end games with a single strike. Another unique building of the dwarves is the Warhorn, available at tier 3 at a significant stone and charcoal and some Moonsilver cost. No workers are needed for its operation. The Warhorn offers a choice between 2 army boons in an enormous area around the Warhorn. Glorious Assault gives you units the Hasten boon, while Brutal Assault gives you the Empowered boon. Whichever you pick, it will consume 75% of the charge level on the Warhorn, so if you want both you will need at least a second, but if you want the buff to be constant for both types, that will require 4 of them. The charge level regenerates itself and there is no real cost to it other than time. Dwarven observation towers deal magic damage, just like the sector centers. This comes in very useful against most early game units, further contributing to the defensive prowess of dwarves. You may upgrade observation towers to watchtowers and then fortified watchtowers, making them the only tower with multiple upgrade levels in Spellforce 3. Now it's time to go over the dwarven unit roster. Mole Riders are the scouts, trained at the capital or at the Stone Hall. Their special perk is that they slow enemies that they hit significantly. You can upgrade them in tier 2 with Stomp, giving them an ability that does siege damage around them at the cost of focus. This is great for harassing clumped up resource buildings. The upgrade also improves their health and attack damage. Axe Wielders are the core infantry unit of the dwarves, trained at the capital or stone halls. They're cheap and sturdy, offering the dwarves some early game options, especially when it comes to clearing mobs. You may upgrade them with defensive stance at the workshop. This will give them a stance that boosts their resistances, gives them a regeneration and block chance, but stops them from moving and attacking, and cost focus. Use this when your individual axe wielders are too hurt to stay in combat. Sentries are the basic ranged unit with a crossbow, trained as stone halls. They cost a substantial amount of charcoal, helping dwarf players ease up on food spending. They may be upgraded with sharpshooter stance at the workshop. This gives them a stance where they deploy their crossbow, creating a more powerful shot with a very high range that will heavily impair enemies and interrupt ability use. This makes them an excellent anti-hero tool, but also great for clearing heavy creeps with powerful abilities. Make sure their attacks are a bit staggered by deploying them a few at a time, and you should be able to take creeps down without too much trouble. Bear in mind that the stance is maintained after a teleport or garrison, so you can use this to suddenly snipe the enemy hero as you defensively teleport. Earthshapers are a tier 2 mage unit, dealing magical damage. They are trained at stone halls and require only food and charcoal, making them highly accessible. Unlike other support units, they have solid attacks and must unlock their support ability by researching Protective Shield at the workshop. With this, they gain the Protective Glyphs ability, creating a bubble that increases resistances for allies within. This will cost focus. Their second upgrade at the workshop, Echo of the Mountain, increases their maximum focus. Dropships are the only transport unit in Spellforce 3 trained at the Granite Hall. They're technically available in tier 1, although typically they get more useful as the game goes on. Each unit will occupy a certain amount of cargo space and can be picked up either by the dropship itself or by ordering the unit to the dropship. Use these for surprise attacks, taking advantage of the fog of war, or to save low health units. An especially powerful combination is loading them with golems in their volcano stance. They will be ready to siege buildings as soon as you drop them. Hitting the enemy at the right time could cause them to lose sectors, or perhaps even their capital. You can also combine this with tunnels and make them in the fog of war to come back later. The better navigation upgrade at the workshop will increase the speed of dropships, making them very hard to catch for most units in the game. The Fire Golem is a hybrid siege and melee unit trained at the Granite Hall at a significant charcoal cost and a bit of iron. Their melee attacks will hit multiple enemies, but Fire Golems need the support of Earth Shapers as they have no resistances. You can upgrade them at the workshop with Volcano Stance at a hefty charcoal cost. This will give them a stance that renders them immobile, but allows them to deal siege damage from a long range in an area of effect. As mentioned before, combine this with dropship or tunnel play to maximize their potential. Combat balloons are long-range flying units, dealing heavy pierce damage and also have a critical damage chance. They are typically a defensive unit protecting your bases from the safety of their long range, while your ground units mop up. But of course they are a solid option to back up a push with. Their Rain of Fire upgrade at the workshop gives them an ability to drop fire directly beneath them. This can deal some decent damage against lighter units, but be careful not to commit to a losing fight. Use the fire as a last defensive resort, as otherwise the range damage will outperform it. Pyromancers are the Dwarven offensive mage unit, dealing heavy magic damage in an area. They are trained in the Stone Hall, and are the only Dwarven unit that costs Moonsilver. In team games with Orc allies, they can also benefit from the Oiled Affliction, igniting enemies, but the Dwarves have no way to apply this by themselves. The Incinerate upgrade available at the workshop will increase their splash damage. Berserkers are the tier 3 elite melee unit, trained at the Stone Hall at the food and iron cost. They deal strike damage and have the Warcry ability, which applies the empowered and hastened boons to nearby allies. Make sure to stagger these multi time. Also bear in mind that the Warhorn abilities improve the Warcry ability, resulting in even stronger buffs. You can upgrade them at the workshop with Enchanted Axes, which adds the magic damage type to their attacks. An absolute must-have. Lastly, the Dwarven Titan, the Spirit of the Mountain, can be summoned at the Tainted Obelisk by presenting an offering to Nithhalf. Its attacks have pure damage and siege damage, as well as a magic damage over time component. The Spirit of the Mountain's ability, Nithalf's Hammer, will damage nearby targets with heavy siege damage over time. This can significantly contribute to clearing a sector when it would otherwise not be possible, and also play a large role in capital snipes. Bear in mind that as a Titan, it won't be able to traverse a tunnel. Remember to boost its performance using the Earthshaper's protective glyphs, the Berserker's Warcry, and the Warhorn's assault abilities. I'd like to express my gratitude to Grimlore Games who have sponsored these guides. If you haven't yet played Spellforce 3, be sure to try the free Versus edition, and if you are having fun, purchase the full game. Links are provided in the description.